Hello, Alex. Long time no see. How you've been these days?
Hello. All good. Well, it has been a crazy couple of days because here in Mallorca it's usually good weather, but these past 2 days we had terrible weather, and my house, like part of my house, flooded because it started to rain like a lot.
Oh my
And
God.
we live in a house, and we have like the top, like it's a terrace, so it's not like covered,
Yeah,
it's like a
yeah,
terrace.
yeah.
So the drain that was supposed to to drain all the water, it was raining so much that it was over capacity, and then the water started to like go down the stairs, and suddenly inside our home, it was nothing crazy, like only like the main hallway was with a bit of water, but still this was like 4 a.m. in the morning,
But
so it
wasn't
was.
was it like? Do you have like wooden floors or tiles?
No, we have tiles, so it was easy,
Okay,
like
okay,
to
okay,
to
okay.
like I just grabbed like I was like doing like this on the on the
Got it.
main door and the door. So yeah, it was crazy night, but like fun anecdote. Nothing happened. So
Got it.
yeah.
Well, okay, yeah, good that you don't have wooden floors. That's probably would be a big pain in the ass.
Yeah, yeah, true.
Got it. Yeah, by the way, episode 19. This is our 19 podcast episode.
Yeah,
And by
yeah,
the
yeah,
way, yeah, let's do episode 20 on Twitter Spaces live.
yeah. That's a good idea. I
Probably we
like it.
could, I don't know, just some audience questions and just we could try to do it live, maybe.
Yeah, that's some fun. Sounds
That
fun.
could
Yeah.
be fun. So today, what do we want to do today? Today we want to talk about my crazy Toolstack changes and that sort of stuff,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, because I've seen that you recently moved your entire course platform and community and everything. So I was wondering, like, what was the thinking behind that? Like, how did you get started, and then why did you decide to change and everything? I think that's really interesting.
Yeah, about the Toolstack changes, kind of the like previously when I started, of course, I started just with Twitter and with Instagram. I didn't have any website and that sort of stuff. And I think it's very important to skip all that fancy stuff early on because it's definitely not needed in most cases. On depends on what you are doing, of course. When I decided to create a website and host a course, there's so much different options, but I opted in for Squarespace. Squarespace in general don't have a place where to host courses, but they have this opportunity, this feature to have paid memberships, where basically you can just put a paywall behind basically a blog post. You just put certain pages behind a blog post, but you can, of course, those posts you could make look them like courses, like course modules, and you can like create pages to go to the next module or whatever, but it's like very basic, very like custom made. It's not made for like hosting courses. But early on, the decision I made why I moved to Squarespace, because like at that point, there was no revenue, there was no nothing. I tried to be as cheap as possible, but at the same time it gave me like a bit like, not, I would guess, I'm not professional look, but I didn't really wanted to do like Gumroad for some specific reasons. I wanted to have a bit more custom, so that's why I kind of went for Squarespace, and all that setup like cost me around $70 a month. That was like with the best membership option and so on. So the fees are kind of low and that sort of stuff. And that was it. That was all my like website, my payments were handled by Squarespace. People just joined those kind of those blog posts behind the paid membership, and of course I use Discord for like my community and daily chats and whatnot. But that's of course is free. So that was the setup before.
And the video was also like, just for people to understand it, like it was a private YouTube video, right? Or
yeah. I know a lot.
Super simple.
Yeah, exactly. I know a lot of people use like Vimeo for that, because it's a bit more professional, and it's like, I guess it's harder to steal your content and so on from me, Vimeo, I believe. But it was still paid, and early on I was just like, okay, what's the goal here? The goal here is just to teach people to explain ideas visually. Do I need that Vimeo thing? No, I don't. So I just uploaded them as YouTube unlisted videos. embedded on the site, and that was that. Extremely simple setup. Yeah, good that you pointed that out. But now I've made a lot of changes. So
now you have like, so let's put like the situation. So now you have like a ton of students, right? Like you are opening the course every now and then, and new people are coming in. So the community is also like super active. So
yeah, the course is pretty much evergreen. It's open all the time. I sometimes maybe do some promos or something like that. But kind of there were two main reasons why I made the switch to something like completely like custom and whatnot. I'll explain what I use and why. But the main reason was there was two things. One of the things was just that course on Squarespace, it didn't look, I wanted to make a better experience for students because it was a bit clunky. It was a bit hard kind of to find where is what, and the navigation wasn't so smooth. And Squarespace, I must admit, I think Squarespace load times are quite slow. That was kind of as well. It just didn't felt super nice. So I wanted something better. And then there was another big reason why I made the switch. Another thing which I'm thinking about now is that I want to create more evergreen content. You know, for now, I'm just, when I do my visuals, I need to be just pretty much show up every day on socials and so on. But I really want to go into blogging and create like blog posts out of my visuals with kind of some stories and thoughts and whatnot. Similar, like big inspiration here is like Harry Dry from Marketing Examples. I think he has done just amazing job by creating this. You know how I usually explain this. You know, when I'm sitting here and I'm just thinking, I wonder, you know, how I could write this tagline or whatever, you know, and then I'm like, okay, let's just I open my browser, I go into marketingexamples.com, and I check out and see some inspiration. I think he's that good because the quality is so good. I'm just always going to him for some sort of like marketing advice, you know, and I would like to create, at least for some creators, a similar place for creators. You know, you feel a bit down and so on, and, you know, oh, you know, Janis have these really nice blog posts, very inspirational, maybe some good tips on this and that. I would like to create something for creators. That's kind of the goal, you know, but we'll see how it will go. And yeah, that's kind of the second big reason, because Squarespace is, as I said, it's quite slow. And if you want to create blog posts, like speed is everything in order to get, you know, some organic traffic and stuff like that. So that's why I moved there. And with that kind of, I got the new inspiration and desire to go big on, not big, but, you know, to really get serious about newsletter. I was just, I've been saying this a lot for a long time, but I still have not like shipped my newsletters, but I will get there and it will be good. And that's the reason why I moved that to Squarespace. But okay, that's kind of the reasoning why I made the switch. So what's going on now? What type of tools I'm actually using? I'm using, like, my website is on WordPress. I was thinking to go Webflow, but it was just too steep of a learning curve. I think I lack the skills to get something up and running rather quickly, and I don't really want to hire people to do it. WordPress I've used like kind of years ago, so I kind of know how it works.
Yeah,
so
it's simpler.
Yeah, it's simpler and it's good. It's good for blogging. You know, David Perel is using it. Who's the guy? Sean Parrish from the Farm and Street blog is using, like, I think James Clear is even using WordPress. So it's all over the place. So yeah, I opted in for WordPress. In terms of hosting, just I checked out what David Perel is using, what Sean Parrish is using. They both use some sort of hosting called Pressable. I thought, okay, if it worked for them, probably will work for me. So I took that one. And then, like, my course landing page is on the same domain, which is my website. It's there. And there basically one additional thing which I added to my Toolstack was this shout out .seo thing, which is kind of good for testimonials, too easy to add testimonials and collect as well. It's now nice that I can just send people a link, and if they don't want to, you know, to tweet out something about my course, they can just add a manual testimonial and then it will appear there on a wall, which is like now nice automation.
That's super cool.
Yeah. And on that landing page, like how I'm handling now the payments, Stripe has this nice feature which is called like payment links. And basically in Stripe, I just create my payment links for courses, and I can have like discount codes there and all the stuff that you basically need. And just when you click the buy button on my course landing page, it will redirect you to that Stripe payment link, and it looks very super neat, beautiful, designed, like checkout window, not some super ugly where you look like a scammer or whatnot. And it's very nice. And basically after that Stripe payment link, Zapier, I now use Zapier, kind of connect everything together, and that kind of triggers to send from Mighty Networks, which is the platform I now host my course in, and which has some additional cool features, which I'll explain in a bit. But basically, yeah, when you purchase the course, the Stripe payment link triggers Zapier to send an invite from Mighty Networks, and I also added that email with a specific tag on ConvertKit, so I kind of can just manage my subscribers in the ConvertKit in a nice way.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's cool. And yeah, Mighty Networks is where I host my course now. It's just very, I know, visualize well. You use it, and a couple of other people use it. It's just nice. It's designed for that. You can really nicely host courses there, and some other cool features that it has. I really like that I can now, like, for some future upcoming office hours, I can add events there and kind of send reminders, and it's a nice specific for that designed place where to do that, and people just can go and add to their calendars and whatnot. It's just better in that type of sense. Like previously, I was just sending some emails and dropping ICD or whatever those files are called. To everyone. So that will be just a more nicer experience for that. And I also, one feature I really like in Mighty Networks is I just want to push people to add their location. But basically, there is a feature where you can click like other members near me, and basically, I hope this could like inspire more, meetups and that sort of stuff, because like students are all over the world. And as I was in Barcelona, it was very interesting and very cool to meet some of the course members and just other Twitter folks. So yeah, I think, let me check the thread. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll check if I have anything else that I wanted to cover here.
No, I think it's pretty cool, like how you have the setup, because it's nothing crazy either. Like it's nothing like super complex. So you have like 3-4 moving parts, but it seems like it flows like super naturally, everything. And also like the feel. Is that what you said? Like the payment form and everything, like the feel, it's like it feels professional, right? It feels like,
yeah, I definitely have like more flexibility in order. I can pretty much now create pretty much whatever I want. I can make it. I have the ability. Squarespace was really limiting me in terms of that. But of course, as you said, it's more moving parts, and I'm always like, when somebody now joins my course, I'm always like checking, okay, did the Zapier triggers work, and did he really get the invitation and that sort of stuff. So I'm kind of careful with that, and still paying attention. And I guess another important factor to mention here is, I don't know if this is like ROI positive thing, because still previously it was like $70, I paid for Squarespace. Now this whole setup costs me around 315 USD per month, which is like not outrageous, but it's still it's a pretty significant sum. But yeah, I think
you need to sell at least one course to make it worth it every month, right?
At least to be on the ground zero. But yeah, that's kind of the reasoning why I did it, why I made a switch. We'll see. But I'm kind of pumped. Yeah, I really want to dive into that blogging stuff, and the newsletter. Been quite busy recently, but yeah, that's kind of the general idea. What about you? What you have maybe changed? I remember early on you had a website, and now you don't. Now you have only your newsletter.
Yeah,
the Steel Club.
I need to redo my website. Basically, I used to host it, and I still have it there in Notion. So there is like this page, like these companies like super.seo and so on, that they allow you to make like a website out of a Notion document. And I had it there just for the same reasons, like easy to set up, like easy to make changes, like super quick to to change things. But obviously at the same time it's limited. It's Notion. It looks kind of good, but at the same time it's still like a document online that just like looks a bit good. So right now, as I'm thinking about what to do next with the website, I basically have like one of these bio.link kind of things
Mhm.
where I just like push people to my main things, which is pretty useful, but I still prefer to have a website because I also want to repurpose like some of my newsletters into blog posts, stuff like that. So
By the way, a question on this, because I'm really curious.
yeah.
I have not run any tests or anything, but in Twitter, some people add their websites in their bios. Some people add this bio.link / in my case, it's OZO, and I still have it there
Yeah.
because I somehow believe that, I don't know, people are really used to it, and it's a good way to redirect people for the stuff they really want. And sometimes just putting them on your website might give you like less conversions, and just they get lost and they quit easily. What's your thoughts on that, like using the bio link instead of your website? Like, do you have any experience? Or
that's it. No, I don't have like any data or anything actually, but
okay.
what I do have is also the feeling like when I check that, it's cool because you get to see like everything that the person does, right? So in my case, I have like my newsletter, products that I have, the new like the podcast link to, and like it's like a kind of an overview of everything that I do, and then people can just like jump back and forward, I guess, on what's interesting them the most at that moment, I guess. So
yeah, it's interesting because I have a very similar feeling. I think I will try to make something on my website, but maybe a specific, starting page, which gives like kind of similar feel, maybe. But yeah, we'll see.
I was going to say like the alternative that I've seen is doing like the start here kind of page, which is basically the same, but maybe there you have like a bit more space to like have a bit more text or visuals or stuff like that. Like the bio link kind of thing is a bit limited, obviously. Like it's nothing crazy, it's just like one button. But maybe if you have like the same style of page but on your website, then it's probably a bit more interesting, and it's on your website, which is usually it's better, right? That's what people say too, but I don't know.
what do you use for your newsletter?
So I used Review, basically because it was easy to set up and it was easy to link with Twitter. But I didn't like the where you put together the newsletter itself, like the editor, because it's super limited. And it's not that I need something crazy to put it together actually, but I wanted a bit more of like changing like the fonts here and there, or changing like the structure a little bit. So I needed a bit more of flexibility on there. So that was one of the main reasons that I made the change. Then another reason was because one day I logged in and suddenly all of my subscribers were gone, and I was like emailing them and like, hey, what the fuck happened here? And they told me it was like just like like a bug in the system or something. And it's not that they were gone, it's just that they weren't showing up. I was like, okay, yeah, but it gave me like a mini heart attack. And they kind of fixed it like one day later or something like that. But it was like
yeah.
And it's not like, I think they are still growing, and since the Twitter acquisition they are adding like cool features, but I just like moved on from there and moved to MailerLite, which is something that I've seen other creators use, and it's way more like complete in the sense that you can make automations, like you can segment your audience by different types. You can do all of that, and you cannot do that, at least as far as I know, on Review. Review is basically write and publish, yes. And that's it. Yeah. And this other one is a bit more complex. It's like automations, like for this kind of people that haven't opened like the last 3 issues, you can send this email, like you can do a lot of stuff like that, and it's super interesting.
Yeah, I think one of the reasons I moved to ConvertKit as well is like I'm almost finished. I think I will publish next week because I was kind of inspired from Jack Butcher and David Perel. They both, like Jack Butcher, have this, I think you can get it at leveragedcreator.com, where he have like a 10 email series, just tips on, how to become a leveraged creator, which is really nice. And David Perel have something similar on writing. And it's kind of a nice way, because I was always previously I was thinking that, why do people do that? It's nice to like just give me the advice right away, everything you want. But actually, when I sign up to those, it was very nice. You're kind of looking forward to the next lesson, and you digest that one lesson in that one email. So I'm creating something like for explain ideas visually. Like I want to create. Well, I'm almost have like done with the 5-day email series, and that should people like get people started and so on. And it will be like a nice way to some people maybe to funnel to the course as well, because it's kind of nice.
I was going to say that's a perfect funnel for a course, like
we'll see.
I think that's why they do it, to like Jack and David and so on. I think it's just like it's a way to funnel them to whatever they do. I think it's a pretty interesting also way to build your email newsletter, so your subscribers, but at the same time it can be like a funnel kind of thing. So that's super interesting.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm very curious how that kind of experiment will go. But yeah, that's another thing. But yeah, ConvertKit is really, again, functional wise, it's super nice. I was checking like at the beginning. Okay, it's still fine. Like now, I think I pay 40 or 39 or 49 per month because I'm under 3,000 subscribers. But like when you get quite big on ConvertKit, the price gets steep there, so your revenue needs to go up as well.
Yeah, that's what I looked into ConvertKit too, but at the time, like my newsletter is not above 3,000 subscribers yet, but it's going to be like really soon.
Yeah, I think very soon. You're very, very close.
Yeah,
and then the price is like
50 or 60 subscribers away, and then it was like, so when I was going to switch, I was like, maybe. First I need to make a bit more money on the newsletter, then I can maybe think of switching to ConvertKit or something like that.
yeah, and I think another reason was actually about the newsletter. Like I think I've gotten like 2 or 3 requests. One of them was like very clear request, and then a couple of more like leads into do a sponsorship threads or posts for some companies. And I was like, I'm not really using you guys, and I really don't want to do this on socials. But I think building a newsletter and a podcast, as we are doing right now, I think those are 2 places where I would be okay to do sponsorship promotions. I think I never mind, if some other podcasts or newsletters I'm reading do that. So I don't know. I would not feel icky doing that by myself, but I really don't want to do it on social. So I think that's another.
I did ask, like, for example, my newsletter, I did a survey like a couple of weeks ago, and I asked people if they would be annoyed if there was like ads on the newsletter, and I don't know how many people responded. Like it was like 60 or 70 people, which is like quite a lot. And I think over 90% people said that they don't care, like they don't mind if there is ads, as long as, it's somehow aligned to the content and so on. So I agree with you in that. Like on social media, it feels sometimes a bit like wonky, like, I don't know, a bit weird, but on newsletter or podcast is the perfect format, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. And like, I don't know, I think today or yesterday, I got the mail from Harry Dry from that, like he has this 3-to-1 marketing newsletter, and he's always had this like sponsorship at the beginning as well. He has like formatted it really well. I think he's done a really good job. And it's like, I'm always like, and he's like very witty with his language and makes like very nice sales pitch for the company. So it's like, I'm almost looking forward to them. So yeah. So that's another reason, because like having sponsorships, like I never really thought that it could be part of like my revenue stream, but I guess if it will make sense and if they like you vibe with the company and whatnot, I think why not? Especially if you can do it like in newsletters and podcasts, I think it could be great.
So if anyone wants to sponsor this podcast, you'll reach out to us.
Yeah, definitely. Talk. And give us 5 stars in the platform you are using. Yeah. Thank you. Even if we are learning, give us 5 stars. It's very encouraging. If you want to give 3 stars, then don't do it. Then don't listen to the podcast. Okay. I think this is the episode. Nice episode on Toolstacks. Do you have anything else? Anything interesting maybe you have found? What's something like you use that helps you with creating or something?
So in like terms of tools, you mean?
Yeah. By the way, for example, you're pretty big on Instagram right now, growing like crazy, and you are having your posts snipped there. Do you do it on like Figma, or you use some specific tool to embed and create like posts from your Twitter, to create Instagram posts from your Twitter posts?
No. I do everything like so I draw, like visualize everything on Figma, and I do the adaptation to Instagram also on Figma, which is normally it's just like changing the frame. And then like scaling down the drawings and whatever, and that's it. The problem is usually the text. It's they need to like scale it down somehow. like find the right size, but it doesn't take me longer than 1 minute per post, I guess. So pretty doable right now. Maybe there's a better way to do it, but right now I do like this and it works. So
true. Yeah. Good. Yeah, I think, I don't know what else. Did I miss anything? Oh yeah, one thing is about one positive thing, regardless that the monthly fee for like the new Toolstack is up, like what is down is the fees, because previously like Squarespace got some fees, and somehow if I now check like the purchases, it seems that for some reason the Stripe fee was bigger as well when you used it on Squarespace. If I use their payment link, it seems that they're lower, and sometimes the price changes, so I don't know how they calculate it, but it seems that it's lower as well. So you're kind of saving in that regard. But on the minus side, like I'm now ditching PayPal. You cannot like buy the course with PayPal. But around, I would say 15-20% bought through, maybe 20% even bought with PayPal. So I don't know if somebody like, once I believe they can just transfer the money or whatever, that will be fine, and I'll just manually onboard them. But that's kind of one minus. But yeah, the fees went down, which is nice.
PayPal in general, I don't like PayPal.
It's
like
terrible.
to receive payments.
Terrible.
Like to send,
Absolutely.
to pay for stuff. I use it. Like to buy things online, I use it. But like to receive payments is the worst. They always like freeze your account for whatever reason, and then you need to wait for 25 days to freeze the money. And
it's like over time they increase your allowance, but it's such a mess. At the beginning, I was really pissed at them as well. I was like, come on, it's like give me money. So it's very annoying, and like the design, it has not been updated for like 20 years. It's just shit. It's a shitty platform.
True.
But yeah, but on the other side, like Stripe enables me to have like Apple Pay and Google Pay, and that's like a big deal. When I want to buy something online and I'm like buying it from my phone, oh, they have Apple Pay, and I'm like tick done. Yeah. It's so convenient. Yeah. So yeah, okay, that's the episode. It was nice to chat with you, Alex. Boom.